What's up, everybody? I decided to cut a video right quick talking about Asperger syndrome, which is on the autism spectrum. Um, Asperger's means people have a hard time relating to other people. They don't pick up on social cues. But a lot of times that people with Asperger's, they have very high IQs. They just have a hard time with social interaction or speaking sensory processing disorder, which is what I have right now. So bear with me because my speech isn't perfect always because of the Asperger's. And and I just recently got diagnosed with it. I'm 36 right now. I'll be 37 tomorrow. Happy birthday for me, by the way. But a few months ago, I went to see a psychiatrist and for ADD. Like, I know it's my whole life I had symptoms of ADD, and they never quite picked up on it in school or anything. So I never been on any medication for it. I just, hey, figure out something wrong with you, and like I went for the ADD diagnosis. I get to the psychiatrist, and he tells me I have Asperger's. I answers a series of questions and whatnot, and he observed my verbal patterns and what I was interested in, and he knew I had Asperger's, which there's nothing wrong with. I mean, a lot of great people have had Asperger's, or it just means that you're not part. You don't have a collective identity like most people have, like or common sense is what they call it. You're just different. It's like most people from with Asperger's or autism feel like they're from another world. Like they're from Mars. They're Martians living along humans or Earthlings. You know, that's a lot what Asperger's is like. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cold. So Asperger's and autism, you basically feel like you're not like normal people. Like you don't gravitate towards what the majority of people in the world gravitate to, and you're more interested in you're obsessed with whatever kind of hobbies that you have at that moment. But it is a day to day struggle for most people. Like most people with Asperger's autism, they have a very high unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is bananas. It's something like 85% of people along that spectrum, excuse me, are unemployed, and it's scary. And it's largely to do with social skills. Like, fortunate for me, I've been at the same job for 14 years. I haven't had troubles getting employed with employment. I've been staying. I go to work every day, but like I said, it's usually a struggle because sometimes most people will not understand you. The majority of people do not have autism or Asperger's, so it can be very hard for them to understand you at times, and family members too. Like I'm sure everyone pretty much thinks I'm crazy or weird in my family. Everyone that knows me thinks always said that there's something off about me, like I'm weird or whatever. Like I don't do things normal people do or say or even walk or speak in a normal way. You're like a Martian. Though what Asperger's is, and basically you have trouble with your coordination. Like I noticed that when I was growing up, I had a hard time at recess. I didn't like playing kickball, baseball, football because I couldn't catch or anything. And sports were kind of difficult for me. You know, I was a fast runner. I was a very fast runner, so but I couldn't catch the ball. It just you have trouble with your coordination, which also makes it difficult with employment, especially pushing things, grabbing things. You have a hard time with your bodily functions, and that's the sensory processing thing. Get control of your body, or you're often called uncoordinated or clumsy. I got called that a lot. I remember that a lot. You know, I don't know. Just feel weird or awkward. Mm. People have a fascination with it now, man. That Asperger's and autism. There's all kind of organizations. I think this is like drug addiction or alcoholism. Everyone knows someone who's autistic or has Asperger's, even if you haven't been diagnosed with Asperger's. Like, and I got diagnosed relatively late at 36, but there are probably people who go their whole lives not knowing. Like, it's their their personality trait is to be a little different than normal people. You know, not exactly like the general population. Geek off because of the cold. I don't know. I should have recorded this with the code, but I wanted to do it while I had the chance to do it. Talk about Asperger's because feel like I need to put it out there. I know there are probably other videos with people on here. I've seen a couple talking about whatever disorder they have, whether it's Asperger's, autism, sensory processing disorder, or schizophrenia, which is something else totally. But I respect those videos and whatever I can contribute to the YouTube community and share what my experiences have been with Asperger's. I just wanted to put it out there, just so anybody who type in YouTube can see this. You see what it's like to have Asperger's. You know, one thing with Asperger's is a lot of times you feel like people might is that take take advantage of someone with Asperger's because they don't gravitate towards the majority of what people gravitate towards. Like usually they probably want to be left alone and don't speak and whatnot. But that's what it's like. I got a bad cold. I already have trouble speaking, so that makes it even more difficult for me to speak. Is to speak while I have a cold. Um, hmm. Well, so it's that's pretty much it, man. It's always interesting to meet people who've been diagnosed or you suspect have Asperger's because a lot of times they have problems looking you directly in your eye. That's another thing. I do that sometimes. Sometimes I have problems looking at people directly in the eye or even this camera. I'm not looking at the camera the right way. But it's something that you could treat sometimes with medication, like Adderall or Ritalin will help with the sensory process and to speed you up more, or to get you motivated. Like there's codependencies with Asperger's, like you might have anxiety or depression problems. or you might actually have ADD too, which is a lack of dopamine going to the brain. So they give you chemicals just like Ritalin or Adderall that will increase the dopamine going to your brain. So I take those meds too, or coffee. Mostly it's the Ritalin. It helps you function a great deal more than when I wasn't taking the medications. But there are treatment and there are support groups out there. If you're on the spectrum, I highly recommend going to seeking out a support group in your area that can help you, or you have someone to talk to, or to be other people who have the same thing going on. It's a community, and communities can always help you. Excuse me, help you. And that's pretty much all I want to say on this topic. I might want to make another video later when I'm feeling better and I'm not coughing with all this kind of flimsy thing going on. And my voice will probably sound a lot different right then. But this is just the raw, uncut version. So hopefully you can gain something from this. That's why I made the video. Until then, talk to you later.